Hello and welcome. A very special Blue Boys podcast for you today, coming from you from Salt Lake City. Got Jesse here for the first time, long time listener, a long time Booler, first time guest. Jesse, glad to have you on, man.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, super excited to be on the pod. Big fan, as you said, Ashwin. I listen to every episode. Super proud of the work you guys have been doing. I think it's awesome. And yeah, keep going for 100 more episodes, guys. Love it.
Thank you, Jesse. Very kind of you. I greatly appreciate the words.
Yeah, and you hear Sebastian. We're all here for our fantasy draft. I took a road trip with Arjun and Brian. These guys flew here, and now we're in a cabin, a beautiful cabin.
It's very nice.
You may hear the sound of like a brook, a nice creek on the side. It's incredibly scenic, and we're having a great time. We just finished Chelsea and Arsenal. Could have been a lot worse, but we're here to talk about that really quickly. Post game reactions. So let's start with Arsenal. They save a point. Probably the worst I've seen them play this year and even last year. Odegaard was silent. Sako for most of the game was silent. Our backline was shaky. Zinchenko got exposed constantly. So not a good game for a lot of our players, but somehow we rescue a point. What do you think about the game, Jesse?
I thought so. I'm coming at it from a casual perspective. I watch enough soccer, but I'm not like as tuned into the EPL as you guys are. But from what I saw from Arsenal today, pretty disappointing performance, I would say, overall. I thought, like you said, Ashford Saka was incredibly silent. The assist was amazing, a very good assist, but he was pretty much like Cucurella had a very good game from Chelsea, and he pretty much shut that whole side down the entire game. So, I mean, I thought it was entertaining from my perspective. I enjoyed watching with you guys because you guys are also Arsenal fans, so it gives me some skin in the game, at least. And I thought that made it exciting. And I thought, generally pretty sloppy game. I expected
It was raining.
It was raining.
Dogs.
Sure, yeah, it was raining, but you expect a London, like an EPL team to be able to at least perform at like a par level in the rain, right? The penalty happened, kind of shook the team for the second half. Yeah, overall, I thought Arsenal could have played a lot better.
Okay, so yeah, you mentioned it. They really came at us in the first 15 and 20 minutes. We were really shaky, gave up the penalty. What were your thoughts on what went wrong in the first half, Sebastian, and what went right in the second half?
The first half, I thought Chelsea's press really affected Arsenal. They couldn't get anything going out of the back. Raya all game wasn't great, although he did come up pretty big towards the end. Despite, one of those saves was completely his own doing that he had to make.
Mm-hmm. But, I was about to say.
Yeah, the first half definitely was one of the worst halves Arsenal's played this year and maybe even last year, as you were saying. I thought the second half, they showed resiliency, but the first half just set the whole match off on a pretty bad tone, I feel like, and I guess I'm just glad to have escaped with a point because it looked at a certain point like Chelsea could have been going up 3 or 4, and it wasn't the best.
If they had a clinical striker, it easily could have been out of reach for us.
Yeah, I would say so.
They had a chance in like the 55th that looked like it was going to seal the game.
Yeah,
and it just even that first 10 minutes of the first half for Arsenal also looked like pretty until Arteta made the subs, which I think were like crucial to the game. It completely turned the game.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the subs? What was the key to the subs, and how did they change the game, Jesse?
Well, I think, like you said it during the game, Ashram, but I think Martinelli was like giving his all. He was pretty gassed, and he wasn't creating many chances up the side. And just, anytime you make a sub and get a fresh look in a game that's going that badly, like it's going to change the game a little bit and give you some like fresher ideas that, clearly something needed to change. So, and obviously Trossard had that amazing finish. He was, I think it was like the 71st or 72nd minute. I don't remember specifically, but just coming on, he got subbed in like the 63rd. And to have that kind of touch, that's shows some serious quality.
Yeah, for me, it was two key things. One was getting Jorginho off because I don't know why Partey didn't play. Maybe he played too much and they knew he wasn't fit for this game. But to me, this was a perfect game for Partey because Chelsea was pressing a lot. Gallagher was running like crazy. Like he really hyped them up to like play this game and play versus Pochettino, and Thomas Partey is the reason why we're unpressable. And if you don't play him,
Yeah, you would call him the press breaker, right?
yeah, the press breaker, yes. So then that getting Jorginho off, putting Rice there just made us more solid, and then getting Zinchenko off and
For
putting Thomas.
Tomiyasu. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah. So what do you see with Tomiyasu, Steves?
Just settled it down a little bit. I mean, it made Chelsea less potent when they were trying to counter. I just felt Tomiyasu is a very steadying presence. That's what makes him so great as a part of the team, you know. Whereas Zinchenko can be a lot of it can create his presence can be chaotic at times if the match isn't going perfectly, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. So there was one more thing. I was just for Arsenal, Martinelli, like I mentioned, had a great game. Saka was virtually non-existent, but it was probably the worst Odegaard game I've seen in a long time. Before he was like even on his loan days, so it was no surprise to see him get yanked off at 75th minute or something, and everything changed after that. So anything else on Arsenal? It was a gritty like result. It's something that we wouldn't have gotten 5 years ago for sure.
Definitely not.
Yeah, the substitutions really made a difference, and there was a sort of like drive and energy that even when we were down 2-0, that we had this belief that we could do it because we did it versus Bournemouth last year.
Yeah, definitely some pretty great resilience.
Yeah.
A couple more things on Arsenal, I think. I think it's more like just a comment, not really like an opinion or anything, but I feel like the plays and the control in the final third were, I think your defense was okay. I think the goals that they got were like pretty lucky. Obviously, you get a penalty from a handball. That's pretty bad.
And a mishit cross goes in.
Mishit cross, yeah. So I thought your defense was okay, and like you guys were dominating possession the entire game. But the final third, it was just such a mess. I don't understand. Like there was, I was saying during the game, I was like, just put it on. You know, sometimes you got to put it on. When you're not performing at a certain level, you just need chances, right? So I thought the final third was pretty poor. And then I also I forgot what I was going to say. I had another point, but
it's fine. So for me, it was the clear need for a true world-class 9 to pull you out of this shit. People say when they talk about Jesus, they say like, oh, he's like a great player and he opens up our wings. That's why our wings are so successful because of his movement. But at some point, you need someone who can like get a long ball. You got to put your foot through it when you're clearing it, and they can actually win that second ball off the ground and go. And he just always seems to cut back, loses it, and then they're gone the other way. And maybe it's not always like that, but I'm not been that impressed with Jesus as a signing. And I think
it was last year, but this year it's been a little.
But he was out for like half the season.
Yeah, at the start of the year he was pretty tremendous. I am excited if the Ivan Toney rumors end up coming to truth.
Really?
I like Ivan Toney. I think he's quite solid at Brentford.
The other second thing was Eddie. How are you going to bring in Eddie? Like Eddie, I like Eddie a lot, but he's not a top 6. Like when you don't play him versus the top 6 clubs in the league. So
he still seems like he needs more games where he's playing the full 9B in like the Carabao Cup and things like this, which is disappointing because you would have hoped by this point he would have been a little further along in his progress. Yeah. Still young, but it's always bothered me how he squanders chances, like and his pace he plays with is not always matching the rest of the team.
Yeah, always going at 110%. Yeah. Like you can slow it down and pass and be more methodical about it
for sure. Something you said, Ashwin, made me think about something that I've been pretty opinionated about for a while about soccer. I feel like so I'm getting into like EPL versus like Spanish league. Like the long pass, EPL has a lot of like long balls and crosses, right? Like stylistically, right? And obviously it should, like, you know, they've won so many Champions Leagues. Like English teams have won a lot in the past few years. And obviously the strategy works. But for me as a viewer, I hate watching the long ball play. I mean, I'm a Barcelona fan. I'm a Spain fan. I always have been, right? And like that 3-man game of like short passes is really like what gets me going for soccer. Like I don't like the long ball counterplay.
There's two parts to long ball. Like there's people like Brentford who like just kick it up the field and hope that the defender mishits the ball and their guys can go. And
Right.
then there's people who like Mourinho who attack space. And I feel like those type of like counter-attacking teams make some of the most beautiful like goals you can
Yeah,
ever
no,
see.
for sure. Yeah, the goals are amazing to watch because they're like on the break.
Yeah,
you know, they're
like
like
the
fast
Ronaldo
paced.
one,
Yeah,
like the Kaka 1-2 Kadira.
Yeah.
Like it's those are really take your breath away. But I see your point.
yeah.
Let's one more thing on Arsenal. What do you think about how Ramsdale feels today, Sebastian?
I would hope. I mean,
He had his kid, so he's obviously happy.
yeah, internally, I mean, I don't know. That kid thing it definitely probably has taken his focus away from the match. But if we're to imagine, like, yeah, he's focused 100% of the match. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. He probably feels a bit annoyed because he thinks he wouldn't have made some of the errors Raya made. But like Raya's mistakes ultimately didn't end up hurting Arsenal. I guess
That's not what you want, though.
no,
like, there was
it's
some
not. He
pretty
wasn't
poor
playing. He was playing pretty
decision-making.
poorly on the
Yeah,
back.
like,
and I think
yeah, he got lucky. Like that one chance where he passed it into two men, he got lucky. He got bailed out.
I think
That was-
Ramsdale probably thinks like I can play out the back just as well. And he brought this guy in to do that.
And I can make the stops. Like I wouldn't let that cross go over me. You know, that type of thing. That was
a pretty lucky shot, though.
It was a lucky shot, but he was not like he thought it was a
He
cross.
was
He made
misjudged
him
it,
move on,
right?
and he had to go back.
He
So
misjudged the
he
ball.
misjudged the ball. So yeah, shaky. And the thing is when the goalkeeper gets shaky, the defense gets shaky, and then the midfield gets shaky. It's a cascading effect. So you need your goalkeeper to be solid in the heart of everything. So when I saw it, like I see what Steve's saying, like he's probably more focused on his daughter, but in the corner back of his mind, he's probably saying like I could have done better today than Raya did. So let's move to Chelsea really quickly, wrap them up. But for Arsenal, I think there was three things we all agree on. One, they didn't play well, but they got a gritty result they wouldn't have got last year.
Yeah.
Two, the impact subs were what changed the game for two of our characters, the very good players who did not have a good game.
Yeah.
And then three is the need for a true striker center forward who gets 20 to 30 goals a year because we kind of need it.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's move to Chelsea. Chelsea, to me, their best player was probably Gallagher. I think he played really well. He's all over the pitch.
I kind of disagree. I think Cucurella was
Yeah,
the best player.
Cucurella pocketed Saka. True. He was a feisty son of a bitch. But yeah, what do you guys think about Chelsea?
Oh, they look
the best they have in a long time.
Yeah,
I thought their press was really impressive. They kept it up for quite a long time. And I think that the way that they played out of the back and the way they moved their backs up,
broke our press very easily
for multiple chances, was also really impressive. Like they were very active, so you have to give them credit. I think they played really well out of the back. They had you guys' number for the first half, and I thought maybe 65 minutes even. Kind of parked the bus after the second goal, but who would have? But I thought, I was impressed because coming in, I thought that Chelsea was a bad team, and I thought you guys would solve them, to be honest. But that's a casual perspective. I don't know how well they've done. Really,
I feel like they're not a bad team. They're a team in transition. They have a lot of good players, and they have a new coach, so they're figuring things out. But they have underperformed. Like they are a good team that underperforms. That's been their identity for the last couple of years. And Poch is supposed to change that. What do you think about Chelsea, Steves?
Yeah, it was the best they've looked all year. I would say they're also another team that kind of is suffering from lacking a true number 9.
For sure.
You definitely could see it.
Jackson ain't it.
Yeah, no, probably not. He's a good bench player to have, but I don't think he's like a full-time.
Can I interrupt you? I know you're in the middle of a thing, but when Poch brings on Jackson just to defend corners, that it kind of gives you the measure of what he thinks he can do.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Mudryk is finally looking like he's maybe going to live up to I don't know if he'll ever live up to that price tag, but at least he'll be something they can always have in their starting lineup. But I don't know. They're definitely a team in transition, like you said. I think they'll be fighting for those European spots by the end of the season. Not top 4, but Europa, maybe Conference League. And I mean, we all know Pochettino's a tremendous manager.
Yes.
But but for the most part, I wasn't surprised how they showed up for this match because it's a derby. Like, you're always going to show up more when it's your London rivals. We've seen that over the years.
For sure, but I feel like that if that's the way they show up, it's not really speaking well for Chelsea. I feel like
They played really well today.
Yeah,
they played well. I mean, from what you guys are saying, yeah, it seems like they played well, but the overall play of the game was like, I think you guys, like we talked about, played pretty badly, and they had some chances, but they were getting dominated on possession, and they were like totally, not getting any chances from the final third. Like, they got lucky with the penalty. They got lucky with the missed cross, but I don't think that they performed super well for what the competition was like.
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll finish with Chelsea really quickly.
Yeah, so I mean, so what seems you were saying that what I was saying before is that if this is how they come out for a derby, obviously they played hard, and you can't fault them for that, but they also played pretty poorly overall. I think you guys made it seem like a game. You played down to them, I think, a little bit. But they don't look like a great side. They don't look very organized. Like, they were very solid on defense. I think their defense is pretty solid, and the way they played out of the back, like I was saying before, was really impressive. And obviously, if they're pressing the entire game, that's a completely different kind of dynamic for the game. And it's raining, so there's a lot of factors that go into that. And I think that they probably overperformed, and you guys just played pretty badly.
So the difference for me is, their attacking third is not great, but their first and second phase are much, much better. Like, if you looked at the beginning of the year with the way Caicedo was playing, he did not know what to do. He didn't know where his players are. So once you get past the defensive line to the midfield, they were kind of lost. And now Gallagher, him, and Enzo are playing much better again. That's what we saw. The first two phases, we know Nicholas Jackson's throwing not going to win them anything significant, but the first two phases, Poch is really, you can see the effects of a good coach that they can have. That's what we really saw, and that's made it difficult for us. We didn't
for sure. Their formation out of the back and the way that they brought backs up, I think, was really impressive, and they were able to keep that press up, even though they were losing the possession battle. They still kept space, I think, really well. So well played by them for sure.
Steve's final word on Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying during the match, the defense was so compact, it made it very hard for Arsenal to break them down for most of the match. Took a moment of brilliance in the 70 for the second goal, and for Rice's goal, it took a absolute hilarious calamity.
I mean, that
to occur. Then his finish was quite.
It was just a bad pass out of the box.
But the point being, I would actually say the first two phases, as Ashton was saying, it was quite impressive. Their shape was definitely very solid, and it was much more organized. But final third, they're still lacking. Seems like it's a common thing though for a lot of teams. So they're not unique in that.
So
I don't think they'll ever do that again.
So what do you think this means for Chelsea in the league and Arsenal in the league? We'll finish with that.
It's hard to take anything from Arsenal, except that at least they gained a point that looked like it was lost at one point.
For sure.
I'm not sure it means much for them going forward. It might just be a case of when you look back at the end of the season, we squandered 2 points there because we didn't show up for 75 minutes.
Wasn't this the opportunity to take the top of the table?
Yeah.
So
but it's early still.
Sure.
And for Chelsea, I think it's something they can definitely build upon. They had us reeling at a point. I mean, one of the goals was fairly lucky, but they had a top 3 side reeling. And I think it's something they can tell themselves heading into every match, that we can compete with anybody. And like I said earlier, they should definitely be competing for those Europa or Europa Conference League spots by season's end, I would say. They're not that far out of it now.
Well said. Yeah. I think.
Sure. Can I make one more comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
So just from a casual viewer perspective, there were some pretty bad non-calls from the refereeing, but overall, I thought that the referee kind of swallowed his whistle, and it made it for a much more enjoyable game to watch. The game was, there was 7 minutes of stoppage time, but I don't think that was from
should have been more.
It should have probably been.
Well, but they were diving in stoppage time to kill time.
Yeah.
But I thought that overall, like the pace of the game was very watchable. I think from a casual perspective, and yeah, there were some bad calls maybe here and there, but overall, the fact that the referee kind of like swallowed his whistle was pretty nice.
Thought it was good for the most of the match. I think he lost a little bit of control late in the match, and
For sure.
that's fine. Like, I don't think it necessarily impacted the outcome of the game in a significant way. He should have maybe called a few more or been more consistent with what he was calling.
Right. Yeah.
Regardless of where it took place on the pitch, because there were certain 50-50 headers where he'd call it if it was, say, near Chelsea's box, but if that same player played at midfield,
He was doing that for sure.
he was not swallowing his whistle there, and that's kind of weird, but not uncommon.
Yeah, not an A+ game from Kavanaugh, but we won't say anything about that. It was a good one for us, a good draw for us rather, but it escaped a very bad loss.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're coming back with skins later today, and then we'll do an NBA fantasy draft. Stay tuned.
Later.
All right, we're back. We got a new guest, the one and only Sean Yang Bang Fang.
Maybe the reigning champ.
Yeah, reigning champ.
Reigning champ in the house.
It's home turf.
Yeah, y'all are visiting. It's great to have you guys.
Yeah, Sean did a great job finding this gathering and setting up the weekend with Commissioner Andrew. So we had to have him on the pod for his post-draft reactions. First time to have him on the pod. Very glad he's here. Then we got two of the upper council, JT and Andrew.
Hello.
Siebes.
Yeah,
Brian,
what's
the
good?
OGs.
Hello, sir.
So we're just really quickly going to go. We just did our fantasy draft. A lot of salty people, a lot of happy people, but we're going to go through it really
Who's salty,
quickly.
dude?
You know.
Who's salty?
Maybe not in this room. Maybe not.
Yes. So Andrew had a good idea. We're just going to go round by round, and we're going to see who did well and who did badly per round.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Basically say who we think is the best pick of each round or best value pick and the worst value pick of each round.
For sure. So first round, I'm not going to go through everything,
Yeah.
but Sean, tell me who you think did well and poorly in the first round.
Who did well? Man, I think everyone, but
Very diplomatic.
Whoever picked Damian Lillard.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah. I think that's pretty unique.
The first round is like everybody's going to be good for the most part.
So you say zero lives matter. That's
Nom.
So Nom got the worst pick of the
Yeah, I
first
think pretty
round.
unanimously.
Everyone else agree with that? Yeah,
I do agree with that. I definitely
and
do.
who was on the board? Okay. And who had the best pick of the first round?
I think there are two good value picks. I mean, arguably three. Obviously, Jokic at one, but Ashwin, you can't go wrong with that.
Nice.
The other two standouts, I would say, are Tyrese Halliburton at 6 and Steph Curry at 9.
Yeah.
I'll
agree with those. Two of the OG players, Brian came in with Tyrese at 6, and then for some reason, Nom took Dame in front of Steph, and that resulted in Sebastian getting Steph.
Yeah, very happy about this. Really threw a wrench in all of my draft prep, but a positive wrench, I guess you would say.
All right. Anything else on round one? I think it was pretty
straightforward.
That one's really straightforward.
All right, two. Brian, who do you see as doing well in round two, and who did poorly in round two?
I do think Ant at 16 is quite good.
Yeah, boy.
I expect him to explode this year, probably.
Yeah.
So having him fall to 16, I think, was quite good. I could be wrong, but Victor Wembanyama, I have to say, is the worst pick. He obviously has a lot of potential, but we haven't seen him play one real NBA game, so I'd have to choose Victor as my pick.
Now that the draft is done, where would you guys have taken Wemby?
Third round.
Late third, early fourth. Yeah, I mean, I would consider it with my early third pick.
The thing with Wemby is he's a fourth round talent, honestly, but a lot of fantasy is who do you want to watch over the course of a year, because you end up watching most of your players. So you would have to reach for Wemby to get him, and it would probably be in the third round. Second round is kind of an egregious reach, but I get what Arya was doing. It's just him wanting to be able to watch Wemby and have vested interest in his season.
I think my biggest concern. Oh, go ahead.
It's just a bit of a reach. I would have not done it until third.
I think my biggest concern is his durability across the 82-game season. I don't think it's proven that he'd be able to play that much, and I think the Spurs will be kind of careful in terms of his longevity, in terms of staying through the season and getting stronger. So I'll do one worry.
just fantasy wise, like in theory, he could have gone in with his 3rd round pick. Like I doubt anyone before.
I was gonna take him.
You really would have?
I was gonna take him third round first pick.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair
Oh,
enough.
really? Wow.
So maybe too early, like you guys. It was. You have to reach for him. He was gonna go.
Yeah, he's gonna
Someone
go.
would probably
yeah.
reach for
So
him.
I was gonna reach for him. Round 3, Sebastian. Who do you see as making out well, and who did a shit job?
This is where it gets interesting.
Yes.
So
Crazy.
you probably, I mean, we all probably think that the pool pick was maybe a round early for
Sorry,
Sean, unfortunately. But
I think there's a worse
actually,
pick there.
I think Kawhi is by far
Really?
the worst pick of that round.
Really?
Because Kawhi's not. The health concern to me is wildly sketchy. I wouldn't have done that. I would have maybe had Kawhi 4th, maybe even early 5th, just because I can't trust Kawhi over the course of an 82-game season. I mean, how many games do you really anticipate getting from him?
Yeah, that's fair. But when he does play, he's first round for sure.
I think it's understandable depending on your team makeup. If your first 2 picks are pretty healthy and you can like kind of assume that risk with Kawhi, I think it's fine. But yeah, if you have like injury prone players, then it might be
So-
a commitment.
To be Jesse, that's cousin boneless is Jesse, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Jesse's first pick was LaMelo, and his second pick was KD.
They both
And
injury prone.
Kawhi is 3rd.
Yeah.
It's a wild team to keep
LaMelo
close
is
But
together.
it's high risk, high
Half
reward.
the
It
year.
is.
Yeah.
Reap rewards last year, which Sean said.
I was thinking the Porzingis pick was also around.
Porzingis is a little
Right.
That's what I was thinking at also.
I mean, he'll be good, but he also has a huge injury risk.
I think he
And
could
they
have
have
fallen
a
to
lot of-
40, honestly.
Yeah,
They have a lot of mouths to feed Celtics, so I don't think
it was 32nd. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Pretty high.
I think it's cool.
I wouldn't say there were any standout picks in round 3, like no
Oh,
super
actually-
good values.
Steve, so who do you got?
No, Kristaps is actually. I was wrong.
Okay.
Worst pick of
Don't you think Cade at the end of 3rd is kind of good value?
It could be. There's
It
just
could
huge
be.
question marks. It definitely could be.
I mean, I think he'll be healthy this year. The shin thing, I
it
don't
was
think
kind
is-
of an anomaly.
Yeah, I don't think
It was
it's a
guess.
recurring injury, and he's a primary. Like the counting stats will definitely be there. I
Yeah.
feel.
I don't see so.
Sean, anything else on round 3?
No, I think Kristaps Porzingis.
How would you defend your pool pick in
Yeah.
light of Sebastian's comment?
Yes.
I just said it was a round too early. I wouldn't
I
think-
mean, it's probably around too early now that I'm looking like at the position behind him, but I got some good intel from the experts that he was a breakout player, and I have to take that risk.
There's a lot of pop-off potential. I don't think it's that bad.
So let's move to round 4. We'll give it to JT, but before I hand it off to JT, don't you think Brandon Ingram at 6 in round 4 is a little too much?
No, not at all.
I think it's okay.
No.
If
Sean's like, why do you say fuck me for?
That's fine.
It's injury risk, but when he's healthy, he's like, unless he's a 3rd round player.
Yeah, it's just also an injury risk.
early thirds.
I think it's a good pick.
It's perfect for team IR.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. And JT, who do you got? Who's the best and who's the worst?
There's no like huge, like egregious bad pick. This is my just personal take. Just maybe biased because I don't like the player that much. But it's probably actually it's probably Paolo. I was gonna go Julius Randle.
I
My
disagree completely.
I
you
was
like
thinking
Paolo?
Yes.
I think he's going to be good, man.
I
think
think
he's good,
fantasy
but not
wise,
for-
he's super
good for it.
inefficient.
It's
Super
his
inefficient.
second year. I'm pretty high on Paolo.
Then the best
Sophomore
pick,
slump, right?
No.
best pick. I'm kind of sad to say this,
Say
but
it.
it's Paul George.
Say it, yes.
Paul George in the 4th round is absolutely
Paul George at
ridiculous.
46.
That's the worst pick. Yeah, we all overlooked that. But
You mean best pick?
no, probably it's probably the best pick. Yeah,
That's
it's the worst that he fell
Hey,
to that
yeah.
far.
Humble little plug, James Harden. And
James Harden,
Yeah, no, that's
that
true.
was actually a
That's-
pick too.
It's a huge
If he just
risk
wait like maybe a
reward.
month or two and he does get traded, that's huge.
That's
Yeah.
Complete
He'll-
mystery, dude.
He'll be a top 15 player.
Or he
when
comes
plays.
in to camp even fatter and he just
Yeah.
goes to your clubs before games.
Skip 30 games. You don't.
I think Ayton was also taken quite high.
I'm not,
39.
I have no problem.
He's got Rob Williams behind him, and like he has no motor. Like he's gonna get. I don't know. I don't see it going well.
I see him trying to prove people wrong, chip on his shoulder a little bit.
Same. I think
So
he's good for 2010, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else on 4? We'll move to 5.
No, nothing on 4 for me.
So, Andalo,
Mm-hmm.
tell me about round 5.
Round 5. So there's 2, I think, impressive or like standout picks. I would say Van Vliet. Depending on the build, going. What was that overall?
50.
50. Yeah, our league notoriously hates him just because he's super inefficient, like 40% field goal, but he puts up nasty stats, so could be good. And then I mean Zion's a huge question mark, but if it turns out well, yeah,
The vision, dude.
could be second round value in the 5th round, but obviously a huge risk with him. Worst pick?
Was Sengun a reach?
No.
I don't think
There's no
so.
standouts. I think all.
I think
Nothing
Drew
was
is-
terrible. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I can't.
Drew's probably
Drew's
the
a
worst.
little. Yeah, I would.
But
If
it's
I had
not
to
like
pick one, I'd say Drew.
egregious.
Yeah, 59. I mean, even I don't hate that.
I don't hate it, but it's the worst pick.
Yeah, all of them are pretty solid.
So, Brian, what tell us about Zion? Your thought process with Zion.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
have to do it.
yeah, he was there, and I just think what Andrew said. If he plays to his potential, he's great value, and I really think that for me, this is I was mentioning to you guys earlier, like an all-in season, just for my opinion of him. And if he can't do it this year, then I would consider him almost a bust. Obviously, he's amazing when he plays, but he just never plays. But I'm willing to take that risk in round 5.
The
Division.
Division, yes, thank you.
I was gonna take him if you didn't.
Yeah.
It was the exact same.
I have him next.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, tell us about round 6.
Round 6, man.
Starts to get saucy in here, dude.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I only know a few players, so I can't really tell you who's good and who's not.
No one is
uh,
standing out.
So then let's go to the
I
high
think
count.
Kuz
I
is
would
kind of
say Kuz.
crap, dude.
I don't.
Well, I mean, like stand out good. There's a couple.
Oh, stand out good. I think there's some bad.
There's a couple bad ones.
Okay, so if there's no outrageously good ones in round 6, who are the 2 bad ones?
I'm sorry, Sean.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Finishing is way too far. That's way too much.
Sean,
on
we
me.
just brought on Sean to get eviscerated.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. Y'all are hating on the kid.
we hate on you guys.
Hate all you want.
Actually, I don't think Dinwiddie's that bad of a pick.
And then the
I
other
think
one is
Tyus
Kuzma,
is-
I would say.
I think Kuzma's crap, man.
Kuzma's a
he's
bad
crap.
pick.
Kuzma's not crap. He's like he can put up 20 and 10, or not 10, but
maybe
like
22 and like 8. I
yeah,
would say
with
a
threes.
decent assist.
Yeah.
There's no stocks and then maybe poor efficiency. But
I think Tyus is the worst pick of the round.
Oh,
No
Probably
offense.
not.
maybe
It's
around
not-
early, but I think if
But I understand the thought process. My concern is just literally he gets traded to be a backup point guard at some point in the season
maybe.
because they have no incentive to
Yeah,
actually keep him.
like, right.
And Jordan Poole is going to have an insane usage rate, so I actually don't know what Tyus is going to do on
That's fair.
ball.
It's completely fair. Let's move to round 7. Brian, what do you see?
For good picks, I actually like Scoot here. I think he's going to be a pretty good player.
Non-shout.
Yeah, Nom deserves a shout out.
you usually want Jet out.
And I think this is a good place to pick him. I think Simons was a good pick as well.
Thank you, sir.
In terms of bad pick, I don't even know who Mark Williams.
Mark Williams is too high.
What the fuck?
So
You know
He's
who
a
Mark Williams
he's a-
is?
not really.
He's a sleeper pick,
shameful.
but
He's a
Yeah.
sleeper pick. I saw him.
So I haven't-
I had him last year.
I would have to pick.
It might be a bit early.
It's a little early.
I do like the Jabari Smith pick too.
Jabari Smith was a good pick.
But yeah, so those would be my choices.
Okay. Anything else on round 7? No, bad one.
I mean, not bad, but just could pan out. But Sean taking Jaw
I think
could definitely pan out.
That's a great pick.
Well, yeah, thanks for taking Clay right in front of him.
That's an egregiously bad pick, actually. Now that we're getting into it, yeah, Clay is a horrible.
Oh, I don't think so.
I was looking at Clay. You didn't say
No,
Clay.
Clay-
I thought I
He
would've
could
taken
lead the
him.
league in threes.
Sean, thank you
doubt
for
it.
saving me from
He did last year.
I mean, I don't know. Clay's health bet is horrible. I don't like that pick.
He played a lot last year. I'm cool with it at round 7, honestly.
I think it's a bad pick, but it's fine.
I'll take the L.
All right, round 8.
I think there's one here that's
There's
not
one,
like
yeah.
that's not like the others. Maybe, but I don't know. But
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
chip in here. I think Russ.
Oh no, that's
I'll
not
say-
That's actually not who was.
So
I mean,
I was like, I'll start
I'll start
talking.
talking.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I like it, but round 8's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I wanted Oscar. Yeah. Let's take a break. We'll come back for round 8. We finished with round 8. It was Ozar Thompson. Who else? Just that was the worst.
I think
one.
you thought Westbrook was.
I thought Westbrook, but let's spray it.
He played well at the end of the season.
Okay, fair enough.
He's definitely fitting better with the Clippers than the Lakers. So
That's for sure. Round 9, Sean, what do you think? Any good ones? He doesn't know half the players.
Players. I'm just pretty salty about Ben Simmons being on Brooklyn with Spencer Dinwiddie.
oh yeah, that was it could be a bit of a timeshare.
Apart from that,
Wasn't Wiggins a good pick here?
I thought Wiggins. Was a
I
great
wanted
pick.
Wiggins.
Yeah,
Wiggins
Wiggins was
needed
a really
some
good
shooting,
pick.
so that's why I didn't get him. But I thought that was a good pick.
Herder.
Herder is kind of sus.
That's pretty early for Herder. City
Yeah, for
Bane
me.
also extremely early.
No, I thought it was a good pick.
I don't
Really?
know. Wesley.
I don't think.
I like
Yeah,
City Bane.
Round 9.
Um,
I don't see it.
I like my Keldon pick. I'll be honest.
Keldon's pretty good at this round. I had Keldon last year, and he puts up points and
Yeah.
rebounds, so it's pretty good.
But he would also go like 2 for 20 sometimes.
Yeah, good for 20.
He won't have the opportunity to do that this year, thankfully.
All right, moving along. Round 10. Bry, Siebes. Anything good here? What? Siebes is smiling. He goes, what Siebes?
You do have to pick RJ Barrett at
Yeah.
a certain point.
But I
It's
was
just-
gonna say,
Well, he's always
I'm pretty down.
He's always
Yeah.
round 12.
I've had him no more.
It's a painful journey when you have RJ Barrett as a fantasy owner. I think personally, from this round, what's a bad pick or what's a good pick? It's probably Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah,
I wish I could have
agree.
got him.
Yeah.
I really wanted him.
Yeah, me too. But I'd say there's more questionable picks this round than like standout excellent picks. But it's also round 10, so like you're starting to get into the point where, yeah, they're going to be on your opening night starting lineup, but by the time the season's over, they might not be on your
Yeah.
team anymore.
Anything past this is pretty subjective in terms of how much you value a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last few rounds, it's kind of hard to shit on picks because you might not even have it.
My
2
question
weeks.
in this round is Zubac, is he a solid fantasy player to be picked up?
I mean, I think he's better
What's up,
than
Count?
Nurkic.
He's a double-double.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
He's not a slouch.
Nurkic has more injury risk, but he puts up better numbers.
I think Nurkic sucks, but I think it's a fine pick here.
Yeah,
Last 2 rounds. Oh, sorry, 3 more rounds. Round 11. JT, what do you see?
I mean, the bad one. Sorry, no, but Dylan Brooks. I don't like that Dylan Brooks pick at all. Ones I like. There's a couple that stand out to me. I like Sohan at the 11th. That was pretty solid. And that took my own horn, but I like Brandon Miller at 11 too.
Malcolm Brogdon in the 11th round is pretty good, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, you're right. Brogdon.
Cam Whitmore. I do not understand that pick at all.
Yeah, that should have been a last round pick. I think that was
Yeah.
a good value,
Yeah.
but 11th is pretty crazy. They're
That's a
respect
huge
for it.
reach. Yeah,
Brooks is a standout good pick from this round.
You think so?
Brooks.
Yeah, I think
Good.
He's
'cause
gonna get.
he'll start. He'll
he's gonna
get
get
minutes. Yeah.
But he shoots like 41%.
We'll
Like,
see. Yeah, if
what
that's
was he?
true.
Not even. He was 39% last year.
Yeah, I had him last year.
He's like unplayable because of how much he shoots.
Melton is also a very good.
I
pick
like
this
Melton a
round.
lot.
I am really
I hate
high on
to
the
say
Melton
that.
pick. Wasn't gonna say it myself.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I was pretty angry when you picked Melton because I don't think anybody in between you and me would have picked Melton.
Agreed.
So as we move into round 12 and 13, we'll just say if you think there's any good players, and then we'll finish with who you think, 2 teams that did really well and 2 teams that did really poorly overall. Okay. So 12, 13, any good picks that
Toppin's
really
a
stand
good
out at
pick.
you?
Toppin is a good pick.
It could
I
be.
like Toppin.
They have a
I
good
like
bunch
Toppin.
because they have Jerace Walker and power forward.
Yeah, but I
competing
think
also.
Toppin's going to get every opportunity to fill that role.
Yeah,
I
Brian, you
like
said
Oubre there too. Around 12, he's gonna. Sixers don't have a lot of scorers, and I think he's getting an opportunity to score off the bench.
Oubre?
all he gives is points and like free throws though.
Points and threes and steals.
Does he get a lot of threes and
Brian,
stuff?
who do you see like?
I like Bogdanovich. I think he's a good player. He gets minutes,
He saved
plays
me.
a lot. He shoots.
Yeah.
he shoots,
I-
he shoots
Oh,
and
wrong
makes a lot of threes.
Bogdanovich, but
So I think he's pretty good here.
He's good, but isn't he gonna get like less time? here?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
are you talking Boyan or Bogdan?
We're talking Bogdan.
It's Bogdan.
Bogdan.
He'll be a bench player this year.
But yeah, Bohan is in the next round. So it's kind of
Yeah.
confusing. Yeah. Okay. You're referring to
I thought-
Bohan or Bogdan?
Bogdan.
Bogdan. Okay.
I thought Sean picking Portis was a good pick.
Yeah, Portis was pretty good
At that
value.
value.
He's been consistent for me.
Yeah.
Been a good guy.
15 and like 8 or 9.
And then round 13, anything special?
Jaden, I was angry.
Thank you.
Jay McDaniels.
Yeah,
Another
okay.
situation where I don't think
In
anybody.
hindsight, I should have picked him.
Yeah, me
Yeah, I'm
too.
kind of surprised you didn't.
I almost picked Jaden around before, but the Kaminga upside
Yeah,
was too
I think
high.
it could be sick.
Okay. Now as we've gone through like all the rounds, just really quickly at like a very high level, who do you think did really well and really poorly? Sean, anybody in particular?
I haven't looked at.
I mean, yeah, the only thing is I haven't really looked at anyone else's team.
so I
You
can't have-
guys were like,
I guess
you guys were fixating on your team. You were only
Well,
looking
no,
at
no,
your
no,
own-
I'm not looking at
I think unanimously we know who the worst team is.
Okay, fine. Who do you think the worst team is?
It's no.
He's coming for another stack out. He's running it back.
Should we do a quick?
I'm not gonna say who I think the worst team is because this guy will just hassle me until the end of time.
All right, well, we know who it is.
Okay, now we know what it is. Okay. Nice. Say nothing.
Say less.
Yeah, say less. Okay, Brian. Anything else?
No, I mean,
I guess, dude. I mean, does everyone want to give like a 1 minute like defense on their own team? Like saying like
So, okay, Jokic, I thought that like I was really looking for Cat or Wemby plus. Like I wanted to do a triumvirate of centers, but then I just think it's like maybe not the smartest thing. I was looking at some draft analysis. They said if you save picking center till later and pick Desmond Bain, it'd be much better for your team.
I think you did a good top first 3 picks.
Yeah, I don't think you have anything to be
Yeah,
defensive.
Cat-
Your team's
Cat-
excellent.
at 24 and /25 is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, you got called out a little bit here.
How do you
Can
think
you
you did?
respond?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't study. I go by the experts, and I go by ADP. And these are people. Most of the people I know. Some of them I don't even know, and some of them I reached for. But you gotta take the swings for the home runs.
Yeah, and spoken like a champ.
Spoken like a champ, yeah. And also the person who has the highest variability in the league.
Apparently.
Yeah. Brian sees anything? But Brian first.
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about my team. I think there is obviously some spots.
Vision was blurry.
I'm feeling good. I'm still
Division was
feeling good. I'm
blurry.
still feeling
Also
pretty
blind.
good. I went really guard heavy early, and then I felt like I was trying to retroactively make up for it. So I picked a lot of random big men, but overall, I feel pretty solid. And of course, a lot of hopes on Mr. Williamson, Zion. So
Yeah.
but overall, I'm feeling pretty
You're the crux of your team is if Zion plays really well, you'd be really good.
good. Yes.
Seeps?
I feel that my team is very uncharacteristic for what I normally draft, but it was all thrown off by the gentleman in front of me picking Dame Lillard over Steph, which I did a few mocks. Never thought Steph would fall to me at 9. And then to get Ant for a 3rd consecutive year when I didn't anticipate having Ant at all, and it was probably my number 1 goal to be able to have Ant. I was very happy with my draft overall. Keegan was someone I really wanted, and having Fox kind of fall to me was surprising as well. So yeah, I like my team. Jalen Green's probably the one where it's like shocking that I ended up with him because I'm not a huge fan of this gentleman's game, but hopefully Ime gets him under control and things go better this year. So I'm happy. I'm excited to see what my team looks like this year. It's a bit different than normal.
JT?
Yeah, for me, I like my first, I would say, 5 picks. I think they're pretty strong picks with Embiid, Jaren Jackson, which I know a lot of people wanted as well. Only one that was a little sus that maybe I could get back was maybe Garland. I'm looking at my team. I don't think
I know he's looking at Garland in like in the next round, so
Oh, really?
I was going to take him.
Yeah, I mean, I should have picked I think another guard, but maybe not as assist heavy and more points oriented. But overall, I'm pretty happy. I think later rounds I could have done better. But overall, yeah, I'm pretty excited for the season, and we'll see how we do.
Commissioner?
Yeah, I think I did well. It went completely different from all my mock drafts and stuff, but the theme of this was just like I felt like I had a lot of players fall to me that I was like I had to pick him at this value. So like Paul George at 46,
Yeah.
like there's a chance he misses 50 games and he's a like ass, but like I had to get him at 46.
Yeah.
So overall like very injury prone, a lot of old vets, but like if things click, pretty stoked on it.
Yeah. It was fun. We did it really quickly. Everyone seemed really prepared, and it was chill, like being in the same room and stuff for sure. We'll see how it goes for everybody. I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks for doing this little recap. We'll come back with skins later. Thanks.
Wahoo!
We're back. The finale of the episode, Skins, NBA Skins. We also are literally back from SLLC after doing our fantasy draft. How you feeling, boys?
I don't know what to think of my team, dude.
Oh, I love my team. I was feeling quite rough until Andrew and I played basketball earlier today, and that kind of helped
Yeah.
rejuvenate my energy, I would say.
Yeah, we got some good sweat in. I was just in
Nice.
Vegas this morning, but we made the road trip back successfully, so glad to
You
be
win
back.
anything, Andrew?
Yeah, how was Vegas?
It was chill. We just we got in pretty late. I have a stupid story. I guess
have to
I'll
tell
spend
it.
2 minutes telling
Okay,
the
good.
story. Basically, so me, Arjun, Brian, we get to Excalibur like 8 p.m. check in. So we hit the tables. So I go down pretty quickly. I go in with $100 and then get pretty unlucky. So 30 minutes in, I have $30 left. I have a $25 chip and a $5 chip. We're playing $15 minimums. So I hand the dealer a $25 chip, implying, hey, I want change. So can I get 5 fives? So I can play 2 hands. Dealer thinks I'm giving him a $25 tip. And so he puts it in the tip thing, and I'm like, no, dude, why the fuck would I give you a $25 tip when you just smoked me out? Like, are you insane? And so he was making a big deal because he's like, oh, I can't get it out. And so, he had to call the pit boss over. It was a whole ordeal. And then the entire time, so it was this like old Vietnamese dude, and he was just salty at me the entire time. Every time I would like get hype on, I would like get a face card first, and I'd be like super hype, and then I'd get a 6 the next time. He'd just like laugh at my face.
What a
Dude,
boss.
it was bad vibes, man. Thankfully, I went even overall, but just not the dude, man.
Damn.
But how did you end up doing overall in the night? Is that it?
Yeah, so I went even overall. I think Brian and Arjun both went up a little bit, so can't complain
Nice.
too much. Yeah.
But now you're back in Ontario. It's quite a
Yep.
quite a journey.
Yeah, it's been a lot of driving. Thanks to Arjun for driving most of it.
Yeah, the Tesla mobile doing work. Jesse, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Yesterday was rough, but I'm back at it. Just been watching the dogs all day, so.
And Sebastian.
Like I was saying, finally starting to recover. Yesterday was definitely not good, and today in the morning was quite rough. But yeah, when Andrew and I went to play basketball, I think it rejuvenated me a bit.
Okay. So we're doing skins here, and so I'll let Andrew explain how it kind of works, right? He's the originator.
Sure. So essentially, it's kind of a spin on just looking at the NBA over-unders. So essentially, so there's 4 of us. Unfortunately, there's 30 teams, which isn't divisible by 4, but we'll do 28 teams total. So each of us will have 7. And basically, you determine whether you want a team's wins or losses. And you basically get the point total, corresponding to that number. So for instance, I don't think this is spoiling much, but Wizards are projected to be, the worst team. I think Vegas has them at like 24.5. They're over under. So let's say they go, 24 and what is that, 58. So if I say, for my first pick, if I'm first pick, I want Wizards losses, and they finish 24 and 58, I would get 58 points at the end of the year. And then we just tally, the total of each of our 7 teams, and whoever gets the highest total wins the pot, which I think we're doing $20 winner take all. Is everyone cool with that?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sure.
Any questions about how that is played?
You want to recap last year's results, Andrew, real
I
quick?
don't like doing math, man. I don't like doing
I'll
the
do the
losses.
math. I am the I am the one who I'm the math guy of the group, thankfully. So I will be stat keeping.
Although the math's been off
Oh,
recently,
whoa,
Andrew.
what was that decided? I didn't self-proclaimed, but okay, we'll let it slide. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, you want to start us off, or how are we going to decide who goes first?
I'll let you, if you want to just since I'm the one who usually determines the draft order. Why don't you just go to like some list generator, put in our 4 names, and then We'll do snake order, just like fantasy. This one I feel like it might not be the best to have the number 1 pick. Actually, it might with this data.
I don't know, man.
Number 1 pick isn't always the best.
Yeah, but the
So
Wizards.
it's 1 actually goes 1. So let's assign it. I'm 1, Andrew's 2, Sebastian's 3, Jesse's 4. Remember your number, okay?
Say that again. Ashwin 1. Who was 2?
Andrew 2,
Okay.
Sebastian 3, Jesse 4, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I will make note of that just in case we get lost.
And
then
the randomizer is 4, 1, 3, 2. So
Nice.
Jesse, me, Sebastian, Andrew. Okay.
gotcha.
Okay. Well, you
So-
guys know what I'm taking.
Go ahead. Take the
Taking
floor,
Wizards.
Jesse.
Taking Wizards losses, baby.
Continuing the trend of Jesse being very pessimistic. Last year he was all losses in teams he picked.
Wait, so didn't I get second last year, or did I
Yeah.
get last?
You got
get
second, I got last.
It actually came down to the last day or two of the regular
Yeah, it was
season.
like 2 games or something. I
Yeah,
love
it
the
was quite
pessimism,
close.
dude. You know.
I think the killer was Jesse taking King's losses instead of King's wins, and they finished
Oh,
like
that's a rough one.
50 and 32 or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
You would have
if he-
smoked Andrew.
Yeah,
I would have. Yeah.
I also chose Nick's losses, so that was a bad move on my part.
I chose Jazz losses. I have some of my list right here, and it was
That's a
not
pretty rough
excellent
feat,
for me.
though.
Alrighty. I mean, do we want to talk a little bit about, what we think about the teams and why we're choosing
So
them?
Joe House has the over on their over, which is 24.5 or something close to that, right? He thinks
He's
that
a DC
he's
native.
a homer.
Yeah.
He's a DC native and a
Yeah, he's
homer,
for
but
sure a homer.
his argument was that Beal can replicate Beal can be replicated by Jordan Poole, and everyone else is kind of better, and it'll be like an addition by subtraction type vibe. No one sees that.
No, his
I don't
argument
see that at all.
his argument did slightly sway me. He was quite convincing, but it was also quickly shot down
He also
Well, the
vociferously
difference
by
is-
Bill and Ryan, and it made me laugh
The
very
other thing
hard.
is that it was like clearly Beal's team for so long, and Beal was definitely like the vet on the team, and so a lot of people would like let him take first priority. But there's gonna be like a lot of jostling for shots and
No,
things
there
like that.
isn't.
No one's. You don't think so?
No, I think there's one person who's going to take all the shots.
Pool
and then
party.
there's like 2 people who are going to take all the shots.
But people aren't gonna
And-
be happy about it. Let's put it that
No,
way.
that's the one problem, which could contribute to them being a huge under because he may get his jaw broken midway through the season mysteriously.
I mean, I think by the Vegas over-unders, like Wizards' losses has beaten everything else by like 3 or 4 points. So that's why I was saying maybe might be the best time to be the number 1 pick in this.
Cool.
For sure. So I think I can go 2 ways for number 2. My pick at number 2. Do I want to be negative like Jesse, or do I want to be positive like me? So I guess I'll take Bucks at 55 wins.
Okay, interesting choice.
Ooh.
I like it.
It's a good one.
Would you like to explain?
Yeah, like I think I could have been Celtics. I was looking at Celtics at 55 or Bucks at 55, but I just think they have a lot to prove and they'll come out strong, especially Dame, that he's on a new team. No more excuses. And then Giannis always plays well so during the regular season. So, yeah, I think they're going to be a good team. FIFA first in the East. And
Alright.
I'm in more in it on them than you guys, it seems, but I'm staying strong to it.
No, it's a solid pick. It was probably going to be my pick if you didn't take it. For number 3, Andrew, are you third? Or am I
No,
third?
you're third. Yeah.
First, that's what I thought. It gets challenging. There's probably 2 or 3 ways I could go, but I'll go with the sure bet and take Nuggets wins.
Oh, nice. I like
It's a
that.
good one. Dang, everybody's being anti-pessimist, huh?
What's the
Everybody
number?
wants
52.5 was their
52
over.
and a half.
but- Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
what
I
are you
think they're
taking?
gonna crush that.
Yeah, what are you taking, Steve?
What's
Oh,
your
I said-
estimate?
Oh,
you can choose like 55 wins or like 60 wins if you're gonna go for that, right? And that'll be the amount of points you get. So you're losing 7.5 points here.
you get
You-
it
in theory, in theory.
regardless. You get it regardless. You just get what their wins would be.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
it's
have
not
to
based. You
necessarily.
don't factor it against Vegas odds. We're just using it
But-
as like a reference.
I could see like 55 wins.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
good call.
they were what, like 54 last year or 53, and they tanked like
53.
the last quarter
Last
of the
month.
year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
West is going to be way more competitive this year, so I could see them crushing it. Alrighty.
Good
So
pick.
I have,
Probably more solid than mine. And I have Jokic, so it would have been there's a duality there that I missed. So okay.
We get it, Ashwin. You have Jokic, dude.
Yeah.
all right. So I get the 4th and the 5th picks, I believe. So I think I'll just
Snake
do the
draft. What really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Snake,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I said it was Snake.
With 4 people? That's a bit much.
I said it was Snake.
I think
dude.
it works
Gotta-
better.
It makes it fair.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
All right. So for my pick, I'm gonna take Celtics W's.
Yeah,
As
that
a-
was my other one.
Yeah, I hate the Celtics, but they're obviously going to be a really good regular season team.
For sure.
I think they do have a chance of leading the league, but we'll see.
Compromising morals for money, Andrew.
Of
What's
course.
new?
Yeah, what's new?
So cheap too.
Alrighty, and then my 5th pick, I'll snake back to. I'm going to take Pistons losses.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was looking at that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of a question mark if Cade comes back strong. They could theoretically crush that, but they're still just not a very good team, so I'm pretty confident in
No.
that. All right,
Ooh.
and then it goes back to Sebastian.
ooh, it gets a little bit tougher. But I think I'm gonna go with Blazers losses.
Ooh, interesting.
I think they've
Weren't
shown
we talking
that
about how we thought that they were going to overperform?
I wasn't.
I
Yeah,
thought
like,
that.
Oh, that was me and Andrew. That was me and Andrew on the plane.
They're a team who's shown they're not afraid to throw the latter part of the season away once they're out of the playoff chase. And I feel
I
that
feel like
trend may
it's
continue.
a different dynamic this year, though. There's no Dame. Like the last 2 years, last year Dame was like, okay,
There was
shut him
2
down.
years ago they
2
shut
years ago, he
down
had
Anthony
Building
Simons.
assets.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, now they've come to the point where,
and
the
Scoot
assets are
has
there.
Scoot has
There's no reason to
historically
not play those guys.
He's
Scoot
been
can't
a-
win a champ by
tanking.
himself, man.
I
He
mean,
needs
Scoot-
help.
Scoot's health has not been the surest bet through his young career so far. He's missed a ton of time with various injuries at different or at when he was with G League Ignite. So it wouldn't shock me if he picks up maybe like a little hamstring pull or something, and they just are like, oh, it's early March. We're not playing for anything. Maybe it's time to. We've seen enough. It's time to shut him down and get him healthy for next season.
Portland's like as good as Scoot can be. Is he going to be like the number 1 on championship winning team? Is that really his trajectory, or is he more of like a complimentary number 2? Because if that's the case, then Portland's still looking for the next guy, right? So
Yeah.
you should just be chilling and
Yeah.
looking for high draft picks. But let's move on. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean his best case scenario is probably Russ, but yeah, moving on. I think it's Ashwin next, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll take Suns at 50 wins.
Ooh.
That was
That's a good
next on my
one.
list.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't.
okay.
I don't agree with that at all.
Really?
No, I had them under shaky.
Ooh. Well, save it for the end. Save it for the end. I want to hear all of those actually. So tell me.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's anyone else. Okay. I think they also will be similarly motivated, and they're offensively stacked, and they can shoot themselves to a lot of easy wins. So that's my play. Yeah.
I think Jesse's got the back-to-back.
I do. Okay, so my first one, I'm taking Cavs wins.
Good pick.
Good pick.
Thank you. Changing it up this year, guys. Not all losses. I think the Cavs will put it together this.
I mean,
Good
they're
regular
really
season.
solid regular. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If any last season's any gauge.
And then, so I get to go again.
Yep.
All right, this may be unpopular. I'm gonna take Spurs losses.
No trust in Wemby.
It's not that I don't trust him. It's just that I don't think he'll play that many games. Maybe like 55, 60 games.
So it's. I just feel they may slightly overperform, but there's also a chance of them shutting things down. So it's not a terrible pick.
Thanks, Siebes.
I didn't say it was a great pick. I said it's not terrible.
All right, so we're on the third round. So Jesse just did his third pick. Then it goes back to
Me, right?
Joshua.
Yep, it's your turn.
I think I gotta go. Laker wins 50.
Good pick. That was where I would have taken them.
It'd be fun for that one too. I could root for them extra.
Yeah.
Damn, I
It's
should
gonna
have
be
taken that instead of Cavs.
I mean, the West.
I was surprised you did it,
tough.
honestly, Jesse. Since you're the biggest Laker fan, right?
Try not to be a homer, man.
I had them
not to
pretty
be a
close.
homer.
I had Lakers and Cavs pretty close. That's like a tough one.
Okay. So explain before we go on. Explain to me why the Cavs are rated so highly when they kind of pooped out in the playoff second round and got punked by the Knicks last year. Why now is anything going to be different?
Well, that was the playoffs.
Well, no, look at the regular season last year.
Yeah, the regular season was tremendous last year.
Yeah, a lot of easy wins to be had in the East also.
But 50 wins, it's pretty high. Even now? No more parity in the East?
I mean, aside from the Bucks and the Celtics, like it's kind of open game. Like Sixers aren't going to be the third seed
take games
anymore.
off the Sixers.
Sixers Heat?
No.
Definitely take games off the Heat also.
Yeah.
They're a good regular season team.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust them in the playoffs, but
so no, just if you don't think they're better than those four teams, and then they're the fifth team in the East, and you're saying the fifth team in the East is going to get 50 wins?
Well, no, I think they're better than the Sixers, at least like on paper, and then Heat. I think they'll be better in the regular season. I'm not betting against the Heat in the playoffs, but I do think the Cavs are probably going to be the 3 seed.
I think they're the third most sure thing in the East currently because the East has some flux situations.
That's fair. Okay, I see that. Let's not spend more time on it, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the explanation.
It's my turn,
so
I
then
believe.
It's back to Sebastian.
This is where it gets pretty hard, I feel. So I hate to do this, but I'll probably end up going with.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
I don't want to do it, but I'll go. There's two that I hate to say this about. I'll go with Hornets losses.
Oh, okay. That's actually not what I thought. That was.
I think I know. I think I know what you thought I was going to say, but I'm a bit invested in that team with my fantasy, so I'm hoping that it doesn't go terribly.
Yeah, as am I.
Well, you're invested in the one I just picked. There was other team.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
good pick, Steve. It's a really good pick.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll be good. Yeah. So you're looking at what, 51 losses or something? Like, what are you going?
Hopefully, yeah. You would hope for like over 50 losses. Maybe like 27, 55 would be nice. So you get those 55 points.
So you're going 55. That's your number.
Well, I mean, you're asking me to. Yeah, I don't know. I'll say they'll go 30 and 52 or something.
52. That's a good call. That's excellently done. I would have taken that. Yeah, I should have taken that actually.
Too late.
Yep, too late. Okay.
And right, so I got it back to back. So I think what Seeps was thinking about was Rockets losses, which I will take.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
I mean, I get the hesitation. Like, there's so many new moving parts that.
Ime's a good coach.
Yeah, they could be a pretty good team. They could contend for a play-in spot.
40 wins under Ime.
Yeah, I'm hoping they'll go like 32 and 50 or something like that. One big difference between this year and last year is there's no Wemby sweepstakes, so like the tankathon's not going to be as heavy. Like I don't know, Sebastian, I guess, do you know like how next year's draft class is looking, and like will tanking, do you think, play a pretty big role end of the season?
So it's been kind of strange. Like a lot of the top projected picks when we were entering into last year have kind of floundered. Um, and it doesn't seem like there's a clear cut consensus number one prospect. But teams at a certain point they start convincing themselves like, oh yeah, I love Matas Buzelis, the dude who plays for the G League. I got a
Yeah.
tank for Buzelis. Or like right now, there's a dude named Alessandro Saar who's projected to be the number one overall pick on a few mocks. And I'm not so familiar with the guy's game, but even going back to the start of this summer, it was supposed to be another Frenchman, Zachary Richache, and
God.
he was really, really bad in some. I think it was the U19 Euro Championships, and so it kind of swayed people off of him. Like he was clearly not the best player on his team, even.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be interesting. I'm sure teams will convince themselves of buying into these guys by the time mid-season rolls around. But right now, it's definitely this draft is not being looked forward to. It would be the following draft with a Mr. Flag that I believe people are
Oh,
really
yeah.
looking forward
Yeah.
to.
True. Nice. Thanks for that insight.
Yeah.
All right, so I think 4th round now, so it's still my pick.
Don't do me dirty, Andrew. Don't.
I don't know if this is what you're going for, but I hate this, but I'm taking Warriors wins.
No,
Oof.
no.
That wasn't what I wanted
Yeesh.
either. So
How many? That's the
I
question.
mean, I'm projecting like 48 and 34.
yeah,
So this is all kind of tight. Like everything in the next few rounds are all going to be within in my guesstimates, like between I don't know, 43 and 48, basically.
No.
48. I don't know. I need you to talk about that one more.
I mean, they're projected. Vegas has them at 47.5. Like, I mean, they still got Steph.
I would take the under on that. I would take the under on 47.
I mean, you can't count out Steph. They obviously underperformed last year, but I
I
think
guess Wiggins will be back more.
yeah,
play more
Wiggins will be
regular
back.
Season.
Chris Paul,
Yeah.
I still respect him enough that he'll get them a couple wins.
We know you love Chris Paul, Andrew. Your favorite player.
False.
I kind of feel that they have a large chance at going under, but their vibes have improved just by getting rid of one gentleman who we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
So
That's also what I was thinking.
True.
Yeah, there's one other, I guess 2 other teams I was debating between, but we'll save that for later.
Back to Sebastian.
So this is where it really starts to get quite difficult, I feel. And I'm going to maybe surprise people by taking this team, but I'm going to go with Wolves wins.
That was actually the other thing
That
I
was
was
what I was
debating
looking
between.
at also. Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel that they're going to have a solid chance at finishing top 4 or 5 in the West. They're less in flux than other teams around them, more consistency, and they did start to put it together a little better end of last year and then in the playoffs.
Well said. Wasn't really. I wouldn't say it's that surprising. What about you guys, Andrew? J Pons?
No, I don't think it's surprising.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick.
I think it's a good pick. Yeah.
I mean,
Especially
a lot of
'cause-
it hinges on like Ant, further starting, which I know Sebastian's obviously going to be.
Cat was
heavily
also out
invested.
for Cat was out for a long time last season too.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
to
makes
me,
sense.
Yep.
I'm going to take Raptors losses 45.
Nice.
That's a good one.
And I think they're going to make a trade and bottom out because I don't think that this team's going to go anywhere. I really think they're a good team. Pascal's tapped out, potential wise, and I figure Scotty Barnes to be a good player, but there's just too many mouths to feed, so they need to clear the way, and I think bottom out again. So
New coach also.
new coach, exactly. Yeah.
Pray that
Go ahead, Seeps.
I pray that they finally move off of some of their players, but man, they've been so unwilling to in the past. And it's just like, why are you hanging on to these guys and then losing them for nothing after their contracts expire? So like, what you're saying is totally rational, but they've just proven to constantly be irrational. And
I think,
that
yeah,
yeah,
it's that 4-year championship hangover, dude.
right. Masai gets
Yeah.
way too much credit for getting Kawhi,
Yeah.
but he's made a lot of bad moves. Like, yeah, basically letting Lowry go for nothing.
Van Vliet for nothing.
Yeah, Van Vliet for nothing.
Yeah.
You're right. Risky one, maybe. I thought it was a safe one, but now I'm thinking it's
No,
risky.
no, we're agreeing with you that like they're aimless right now. Like I think they're gonna
No,
just-
that might be sound, but you're right. I didn't consider the real world possibility that Masai is a stubborn asshole. Yeah.
Like, yeah, what you're saying is the rational. They've just proven to consistently be irrational.
Correct. Okay, so that's back to
Jesse for the double.
Jesse. First pick for the double stank. Yeah, sneaky
All
snake.
right, I got a double, so I'm taking Bulls losses.
Oh,
Oof.
I think you took that last year, and you took him pretty early last year, and it kind of screwed you a bit.
I just believe in them so much less this year than even I did last year.
I had that pretty low
They're-
on my list.
they're
Yeah,
all-
we can talk about that later, but yeah, that was not.
what do you mean low on your list? Like that's something
Like,
you don't want to touch?
I
or-
think they're gonna.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be like slightly under 500.
Okay, interesting.
But
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I mean, they had a really good stretch last year towards the end of the season, but just again, it feels like a pretty aimless team, just like the Raptors almost.
that's fair.
And then
What's the
my
number?
next one.
So this is 5th round now.
We're
What was the
entering
number
fifth.
again? Sorry.
Oh no, we're not doing numbers. Actually, we're just doing the wins or the losses.
No, but like you said, your
Like, what's your estimate?
what's your
What's
estimate?
my estimate for them winning? How many
Or their
wins?
record.
I think they'll probably get like 34 wins.
So
I
that's
could
what,
see that.
34
58
seems
losses. Or sorry,
Yeah.
48 losses.
Mr.
Yeah.
Math guy, the math guy
pretty.
coming through.
The math has been off, Andrew. It's been quite off recently. Okay, and then my next pick, I'm surprised this went so far. I don't know if I didn't hear this already, but I'm taking Pels wins.
Oh, I don't know about that,
That's,
my friend.
reach for the stars.
That was also, yeah, I don't know if
Really?
I agree with that.
All right, well we'll see. You know,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Oh,
you guys. I mean, I think they're gonna be pretty good this year.
it's a very ballsy pick, and it could pay out tremendously, but it's just
exactly.
so
I mean,
risky.
in the
Yeah.
late rounds, brother, you got to take swings.
It's either gonna win you or lose you the league probably or the game
The-
probably.
yeah, that's actually a good call.
I'm here to gamble.
Yeah, I mean they started last year as the number 1 seed in the West through like half the year, and then you know injuries to Ingram and Zion, and then they kind of just floundered after that.
They gave
So,
up. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean if they're healthy, they're you know probably a top 4 team in the West, at least regular season wise.
Yeah. Was that my
So back
sixth
to me?
pick?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that was
it
your
was
fifth.
it was 5th pick, and now it's back to Ashwin.
Okay.
So I'm mulling a couple things here. Go positive, right? You can say, I would say maybe OKC and their win total, or Knicks at 45. I think is a good number, very safe number. Or I could go negative and go Jazz. I think might lose 55 games, or is it? No, 45
Oh.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
45 they
games.
could lose. Yeah,
They could lose 45 games. So to me, this is a team I want to root for and I want to watch. So I'll take the OKC wins at 45.
Respectable.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think they were kind of a hard team to predict. Like, obviously they had a pretty good season last year, but with how tough the West is, it's hard to see exactly where they'll place. Everyone assumes they'll improve, but by how much, we'll see.
Looking for 5 games. I think 5 games, another year of improvement with Shea, and then some new players, Jalen's growth and Chet. I think might be worth 5 games.
Yeah, I believe it. All right, back to Sebastian.
So, oh man, it gets a little bit dicey here because there's one swing I could take, but I feel that the safer pick is probably. I guess I'll go. I'll go with the swing, and I'll take. We're in round 5.
Mhm.
Take Sixers wins. I'm kind of surprised
Yeah.
they've gone this
Yeah.
far.
That was on my list for a while.
Even
At the top of my list.
My psyops didn't work.
What, were you trying to get
I
them
thought
next
they would
round?
drop. I thought they would drop. Like, yeah. No one believes in them, but I think James is going to play. I have to hope for it because he's on my team too.
I also just think a team led by Embiid is not going to lose or win less than like 48 games.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
Alrighty. So I got my 5 and 6 picks.
Yeah.
It's
kinda
tough here.
Yeah. I think someone referenced this before, but I'll take Knicks wins with one of mine.
Interesting.
I doubted them last year, so I feel like just to pay homage, I'll take the other side and hope they do me well until they go like fucking 38 and 44 and screw me.
You see, I would have had them in my top category, like the sure things, but something Johnny said on our NBA preview stuck with me, and it was they alternate good years and bad years. And so I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's true. It's because of Randall. Randall alternates good years and bad years.
Yeah. Hey, he's
So-
supposed to be good this year. He's coming off surgery. Hopefully, he'll be good.
Yeah, so that was the thing that dropped them a little bit for me. But I mean, I believe in the team. It's just that what he said spooked me.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm hoping Brunson will continue to, elevate everyone's games. So fingers crossed. So my 6th pick, yeah, these are all tight. I'm gonna go with Jazz losses.
Ooh,
Good pick.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, Jazz surprised everyone last year, but I don't know. The West is just really, really competitive. So I think their talent and coaching can only take them so far.
Jesse? No, Sebastian, right?
It's my turn.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's Sebastian. Yeah.
So this is what I was gonna go with last round instead of the Sixers, but I'll go with them now. I'll go with Kings wins.
Yeah.
I feel like
Nah.
their over under is surprisingly low to me with Vegas. Could see them getting like maybe slightly less than last year, just because the West is better. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a drop off like Vegas is projecting.
So what's the number? Like 42, 43? What?
They're projected to be at 44. I could see them winning like 46, 47, maybe even 48 games.
Because they were at 50
Oh,
last
wow.
year, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Or something close to that. Yeah.
they were at 48
And
and,
they-
34. Yeah, I could see them replicating last year, honestly.
Yeah. They also started
Okay.
out the season really poorly.
Yeah,
So your number is what?
I'll say they'll win 48 games, the same as last year.
That's really good value in this round because everyone's going for 45 and just to be safe. But yeah.
Well,
It's
if
a
they go over
step-
45, it's over their Vegas projected, so that would still be pretty good.
No, but that means you're taking a risk here, right? You're really going for points here at 48.
I think they're going to win a good amount of games just because their team is set up for regular season success with how they run and gun.
Fair enough.
They had the beam boost last year though, dude.
I don't know. We'll
The
see.
beam gave them at least 3 wins.
It could go horribly wrong, but I believe in the team.
They got Vezenkov now.
I love that guy so
So-
much.
Before it's my turn, why doesn't Andrew give us a rundown of the teams that are left?
I believe someone correct me.
I can do this. I have it written down right here.
Okay, go for it.
So, we have Nets losses, or Nets, I guess you should say, but Nets, Mavs. That was a mistake by me, but yeah. If you believe in the Nets, go for it. Nets, Mavs, Hawks, Magic, Heat, Pacers, Clippers, and I said the Heat already, so that's all I believe. It's
Yeah.
the Pacers. I'll
Yeah,
repeat
I
it one more time. Pacers, Nets, Mavs, Hawks, Magic, Heat, and Clippers.
Oh, did you say Grizzlies?
Oh, and the Grizzlies, yes.
Okay. So back to me, right?
Yeah.
I shall take Heat wins at
Nah,
43.
you fucker.
Yeah. That was a good rundown, Siebes. Gave me exactly what I needed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it. I actually did it out of order in what I have written
Yeah.
down because
That's what I
I
would
was
have
trying
done.
to throw you off the scent.
So thank you. But that's a good one. Now back to you again, right? No,
No,
to
it's
Jesse.
Jesse
My
would
mistake.
take
Jesse, yeah.
his
Jesse gets
last
his-
two
Yep.
picks.
Yeah.
Yep. And thanks also, Siebes, because I'm taking Nets losses.
Oh, that's fine. That wouldn't have been something that.
What's the number? That's the all the important question.
I think it's good value.
Yeah, 37.
37 and 45.
That's what they're projected. Yeah, it could go worse.
Yeah, I think it could go worse. That's the key there. And then I really don't want to do this. But I'm going to take Clippers wins.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it's a good. I don't think it's a very good pick, but I'm glad
Really?
you did it. Well, I guess with what's left, yeah. I just wouldn't want to have that.
They're a
on
good
my-
regular
I mean,
season team,
Yeah.
despite all their injuries.
And I have Kawhi also, so
I respect the picks.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna be doubly
Incredible.
frustrated.
why? Oh, yeah.
Kawhi's done. Let's call it. Let's be honest here. He's done.
Let's
Done
not
in what-
call it.
I don't know about done. It's just, it's not an enjoyable experience having to root for him. I'd say because every time he touches his leg, you're just like, oh god, what's happened? And then he'll finish the game, but then after the game, you'll find out, yeah, he's out for 3 months. And it's like,
No,
what
Can we,
happened,
not
dude?
talk, can we not talk about
I can
this?
tell you
Can
this.
we not talk
I can
about
tell you the
this?
exact timeline. I'll tell you the exact time. He's gonna play super dank for the first 2 weeks. Jesse's gonna go off in the group chat saying, "Oh, Kawhi's so dank. I can't believe how dank Kawhi is." And then within like a month, he's gonna go out for the rest of the year, and then you'll see him in like the first round of the playoffs. I guarantee that's what's gonna happen. Like, something along those lines. It might be a month. It might be a month and a half, but that's the time frame. Like really early in the season, you're gonna see something really good, and then he's gonna go.
Ashton,
it's
you're
such a
jinxing
shame.
your own team with this, dude.
My
not
team.
saying-
Like,
I'm
it's
not
not my
saying-
team.
yeah.
I don't
You're
need
asking
Clippers.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're putting the hex on my.
Oh, I'm
players.
sorry, brother. I didn't mean to do
It's
that.
gonna go back. It's gonna go back
But I
your
thought
way
you knew.
tenfold.
I thought you were down for that.
Oh, I knew.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm here to gamble.
Gamble, very nice. Okay.
All right. I think it's your pick, Ash. When
Alrighty.
your last pick.
Last pick, you say. I'll go Pacers wins 40.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Wow.
Wait,
Okay.
if you think you're getting 40 wins, then you should take their
Then you
losses.
I should take the losses, which is 43, 42, right?
Yes.
No, but-
I don't know. You tell
Let the
me.
man, let the
You
man
tell-
go. dude.
yeah, you tell me,
No.
man. It's up to you.
Pacers losses 40.
It's hard,
Two.
man.
42.
They're one of
Four.
they're one of the hardest teams in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That's
I mean,
why I didn't
someone
want
has
to touch him.
Halliburton, they have Matherin, they have like all these other good players, right? So
But you're taking their losses.
yeah, but 40 for a team like that has only young players is on the rise. Like it's fine, right?
Yeah.
It's a different trajectory. They're on. It's like they're starting from the bottom now they're here type vibes.
So we're left with 3 teams
Four
now.
teams.
4 teams.
Four
Yeah.
teams. Yeah.
It's the Grizzlies, the Hawks, the Mavs, and the Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's
All
hard.
teams you would figure be around 41 wins, right? That's basically the vibe here.
Oh man,
Yeah.
so
You should leave the Mavs to me since I already have 2 of their top players.
Oh, if you want the Mavs, I'm not even gonna touch
Are we going
that.
into an auction mode for your last pick?
So, I guess. I'll go with Grizzlies wins just because they have the program in place, but I don't feel great about it.
Were you debating between that and Magic losses?
No, that's the hardest one left to me.
Stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Real
I mean,
tough.
Yeah.
I can
I
see the
think-
Magic winning their division, some shocking people.
I mean, they
I
have.
see why this game is interesting. Like, yeah, at this point, you're really
Yeah.
reaching for those good value picks, and
Yeah.
it could be the difference, right? Because it's not that different than 50 points. Like, 40 points is enough to nullify what a matchup. So it doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
right? So it makes me seem like as if it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. So really important. You have to get basically all wins for every 5 or 6 of your picks.
Right. And I'm sure that some of the, if we chose wins on some teams, I'm sure they're going to go under 500 and your wins will turn out to be negative value. And
Yeah.
vice versa with losses. Like that's how it happened last year. There were like 3 or 4 that we got completely wrong.
Yeah, better to be
All right.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the Vegas hasn't even updated the Grizzlies odds because this is coming right after the Steven Adams injury was announced.
Mhm.
Another
Yeah.
one.
He's out
He's
for
out
the
for
year.
the
After the
season, yeah.
season,
Oh my God, what happened?
Just bad
season
knee,
ending surgery.
fucking PCL,
Oh.
Yeah.
same injury
Yeah.
he had last year.
More stats for Desmond Bain, more rebounds. It's chill.
We'll see.
All right, so last on the list is Mavs, Magic, and Hawks. I was kind of saying I want the Mavs, but there's such a fucking question mark. The Hawks are a perpetually 500 team in my book, so I'm gonna avoid them.
Ooh.
And then Magic losses, yeah, Magic are a huge wild card.
Just take Mavs
I'll
losses, Andrew.
I'll go Mavs wins. Gotta
Oh,
root for my
wow.
boys.
Yeah,
That's a
you
good
won.
gonna
call.
do
Take
it. Yeah.
I
Who
was
knows how badly it'll turn out?
yeah. My debate was Hawks wins and Grizz wins. Now that you've made your pick, so
But
because I'm such a Quinn Snyder fan.
that's true. They'll be a good regular season team.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I did like see some stuff that people are projecting them like at like 45 even. So, but I'm a big Mavs fan now, so had to go with it.
We're all Mavs fans.
No, we're not. I think they're gonna crash.
I want the Mavs to do well.
I
I
should have
just don't
taken
know
that.
that
I
well.
actually should have taken their losses
It's
at like
regrettable that
45, getting
Andrew
better
has both of
value.
them.
You think
For
you
me,
think Mavs are gonna go
points-wise.
under? You think Mavs are gonna go under 500?
Yeah, I
I
do. I
don't.
think they're gonna take, and
Dang.
not like
They're gonna-
willingly, but the Kyrie thing's not gonna work out. And now you have one Luka on an island by himself. West is better. It's gonna be tough for them.
I'm a big Kyrie fan.
I don't know. They didn't have enough time to
You're a
gel
big
last
Kyrie
season.
fan since when, Andrew?
Since I took him in the
Since
draft
Saturday.
at 20 seconds.
Enjoy the Kyrie
since
experience,
Saturday.
bro. I've had it way too much in my time.
But Andrew has a lot better vibes than you, Jesse. That's why Kyrie will be willing to play for him.
He's gotten paid now. It's different. He's not gonna be in line.
All
But we'll
right,
see.
so I think that wraps it up.
Want to do a recap of our overalls?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of go down the list. So this is just the order I wrote it in, but starting with me, Andrew, I got Celtics wins, Pistons losses, Rockets losses, Warrior wins, Knicks wins, Jazz losses, and Mavericks wins. And then Sebastian is Nuggets wins, Blazers losses, Hornets losses, Wolves wins, Sixers wins, Kings wins, and Grizzlies wins. Then
Positive
Jesse,
guy.
yeah.
Very optimistic.
Jesse is Wizards losses, Cavs wins, Spurs losses, Bulls losses, Pelicans wins, Nets losses, and Clippers wins. Last Ashwin, Bucks wins, Suns wins, Laker wins, Raptors losses, Thunder wins, Heat wins, and Pacer losses. And so I just tallied like how many wins and losses we have. So I think total there's 17 total wins, which would make 11 losses. So we're all overall pretty optimistic, but of course Jesse the naysayer, it was only at 3 wins and 4 losses. So
It
he's
should have worked. I should have just stuck with it.
he's
And,
banking on some poor outcomes.
That's what I do, baby.
And who we have left over are the Hawks and the Magic, correct?
Yeah.
And so I was mentioning to you, Ashwin, that I separated it into 3 categories. Do you want me to go through what those were so people can
Yeah,
see?
real quickly, go.
Yeah. So I had 3 categories: solid, shaky, and stay away. For solid, I had Celtics wins, Bucks wins, Nuggets wins, Lakers wins, Cavs wins, Kings wins, Wizard losses, Piston losses, Blazer losses, Hornet losses, Rocket losses, Wolves wins.
Rocket
and-
losses?
yeah, Rockets
You had them in
losses.
solid?
Yeah, I think so. I think they'll
Yeah.
definitely go under 500.
Yeah, under 500 for sure, but like the number too?
The number that does make it a bit shaky, but yeah, I think it's a. I don't know.
Everything
I don't
else,
see them.
every other team, I was like, yes, nodding my head, yes, yes, yes. But the Rockets
Yeah,
one kind
you
of caught
make
me
it-
off guard.
And then I debated this one, and I had them in shaky, but I moved them up to solid, and it's Heat wins.
Yeah, for sure.
And so then
Hey, we got a dog appearance. Hey, that's so
there he
cute.
is. Very
Which
cute
one is
dog.
that? Bonzi or Fonzie?
This is Fozzie.
Fozzie. Okay.
He's got the hiccups right now.
Oh, look at that guy.
Too bad our listeners can't see.
Yeah,
But-
there's a cute puppy, a newborn puppy. What type is it, Jesse?
He's a Bernedoodle.
Oh, very cute.
Oh.
Oh,
Just big yawn.
big yawn in the laugh.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
I think the mic
Bedtime
caught
for the
that.
boys.
Huh? That's cute.
Okay.
So let's finish up real quick so he can go
Yeah.
to bed. Yeah.
So shaky, I had Suns wins, Warriors wins, 76ers wins, Clippers wins, Grizzlies wins, Knicks wins, Thunder wins, Heat wins. I'm gonna move this.
Not Heat wins because you moved them up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Heat wins not there. So Hawks wins, Mavs
Mhm.
wins, Jazz losses, Raptors losses, Spurs losses, Nets losses.
Andrew, anything on that?
No, I mean I slight agree and slight disagree on some, but that's kind of how this works.
Which one did you disagree with the most?
I think Warriors are. I mean, it's stupid because they underperformed like hell last year, but I'd be shocked if they didn't get at least 47 wins.
I don't know.
You'd be
I mean,
shocked.
I would.
You'd be
taking the
shocked.
under on that,
Unless
dude.
Steph gets injured. Unless Steph
Dre-
gets
What
injured.
if, what if
Draymond's
Draymond
up
gets
too.
injured?
He is injured.
Yeah. What if Clay gets injured? Do you think then
I
Clay
think
can
Steph
carry them?
enough is alone to get them at least
45 wins,
41
maybe not.
wins, and then the rest of, I'm assuming everyone else can chip in a win here or there.
And here's an alternate scenario. Let's say, knock on wood, the other two guys do get injured. They shut down Clay and not Clay, Steph for the season because they don't want to waste one of his prime
Okay.
years or something.
I mean, that's
or
what
like,
happened.
or
the
they
year got Wiseman, I guess.
reduce his minutes like incredibly, and he doesn't get like that many. Like I don't know.
I don't
don't
know.
play
I
These
don't
are
like
horrible
this.
scenarios.
I know. That's why I knocked on wood. I
mean-
hope you heard it.
I
I
did, I
am
heard
not
it.
sure if I'm not even sure if they have their first round pick next year, but like they're all in. Like their core is aging. Like if they don't win it this year, like the window's basically closed. I feel like so. I don't think they're gonna be any like resting shenanigans or like. I think they're fully committed to going all in for it.
Okay.
And then my
Dino,
la-
last
yeah,
year,
my
and
stay
then
away.
Jesse have the last word.
So my stay away, I added a team as I was reading through this, and it's Pelicans wins was a stay away, Bulls losses was a stay away, Pacers losses was a stay away, and I think Magic losses I'm gonna add to stay away. And
Yeah.
that's why Jesse's, I can't remember what round it was, but he went Bulls losses, Pels wins back to back.
Yeah, 4 or
And
5.
Evoked a very strong reaction from me because of my list.
So this is perfect. I didn't know this. This is perfect. So I agreed with every single one of yours. Jesse didn't agree with 2 of them. So tell us why, Jesse.
Well, like we talked about during when I was picking, I think that the Pelicans, they showed last year that when they're healthy, they could be a dominant team in the regular season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a swing. I'm not saying that it's like a done deal, and I get why Siege would say stay away, but gotta roll the dice, baby.
Yeah,
Mhm.
your logic was sound.
And
Yeah,
for
and
the
then-
other one,
And then I just think that the Bulls, same thing like we said with the Raptors, no real identity.
But
I think Vooch gets a little like older. DeMar is getting older. Zach LaVine doesn't necessarily have the reins of the team in that scenario, and so I don't know. I don't see them having an identity. I think they're going to play hard. I just don't think they're going to be very successful.
I
The
respect it.
Bulls have been in that limbo for like 5 years now, and I've always thought that they do worse, and then they end up around 500. So that's why I thought they were stay away.
Yeah, I feel like age plays a little
more
bit
than
more of a
5
role.
years, in my opinion. Like, isn't it more
Well,
like
sure.
forever since the Bulls? Yeah.
Yeah, since Derrick
Actually,
Rose, I
Derrick-
suppose.
Carlos
Derrick
Boozer,
Rose.
the Booze Man.
They had like one nice
with
year
his nail
Cow
polish
there.
hair, all the nail polish black hair or whatever. What do you call it?
That was
Isn't that pelt? Don't they polish his hair or something? What is it
it
called,
was
Sebastian?
he wore like ridiculously dark black hair dye. There's a specific name for it. You are right, but
Shoe polish.
I can't remember the exact name. They call it Beijing. That's what they call
that's
that.
right up your alley, Sebastian. Yeah.
A great city, but not a great hair dye, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, the Bulls
Yeah.
have no young talent, and I'd say like they're pretty directionless.
Isn't their first pick Javon Carter or something? And like he's not even supposed to be like playing that much. Javian Carter. Is that the one?
They signed Javon Carter. He was on the
Okay.
Bucks last year, I think, as their like
Oh, I see.
defensive-minded point guard. But yeah, doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
Hmm. Okay. Anything else on Skins, guys? That's really fun after a fun weekend as well. Salt Lake was beautiful. We'll show. I think we'll post pictures, a couple pictures on the feed, and we'll be back next week with normal programming, top 5, Blue or Bust, all that stuff. So thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Andrew, and
course.
you, Seeps.
Thanks for having me on.
Peace.
All right, take it easy.
Later.